Alrighty, so no necessary props today, just yourself. And let's begin today lying onto our stomachs and just take a few nice deep clearing breaths there. I often like to start with my hands just under my forehead. It gives a little bit of space for you to breathe below it. And we'll begin slowly just noticing where the breath is in the body. So you might notice the belly expanding into the ground and perhaps the ribs out to the sky away from you. And then everything returns back home. If you notice your mind wandering, do your best to just bring it back to your breath, anchor it there in this present moment. We'll be here for about 3 more deep breaths. Try to encourage the inhales and exhales to be a little bit longer. Let's start introducing some movement into the body. Take your right knee, bring a bend into it, but slide it out to the right. So we're taking up a little bit more space. The inner thigh and inner knee finds the ground. Then take your right palm under the shoulder. We're going to start pressing the chest up and threading your left arm underneath. Start to roll onto the left side of your body, stacking the hips. And to turn this more into a spinal twist, your right arm can start reaching behind and find any angle that works for your body. It might not be directly out from the shoulder, could be on an angle of any sort. When you get there, just settle in for about 3 more breaths. Start coming back across with the right arm. Bring it to the mat, press it there so we can untangle the body. Left arm comes back to its own side and right leg goes behind you. Now let's take your left arm, extend it out from the shoulder. The palm finds the ground. So off to the other side. Bend into the right knee, pulling the heel towards your glutes. And the right palm's going to press into the mat again. So you start rolling onto the left side of the body one more time. This time we're opening up the shoulder into the front of the chest. That right leg can come behind you as a little bit of a kickstand. Let's be here 1 more deep breath. We'll start rolling back forwards to the belly and come back to bring both palms under the head. Relax the body. Let's head over to the other side, pulling the left knee out to the side with a bend in the knee, inner thigh and knee rest on the ground. Left palm finds its way under the shoulder. Begin to press the chest up and your right arm threads underneath. Slowly, slowly roll onto the right side of your body. The hips begin to stack. And then reaching the left arm back behind you as an anchor, opening your chest into a twist. Now that left arm can come back across. Press it into the mat, untangle all those limbs, bring them back to where they started. Now the right arm reaches out to the right hand side, palm on the ground, left hand back under the shoulder and pulling the left heel towards your bum. Start pushing yourself back to the right side of the body. Find that little kickstand behind you. And take a few deep breaths here, opening into the front of the right shoulder and chest. Good, we'll start heading back to our bellies. We'll bring both hands under our shoulders and send your feet back to your heels in a child's pose. Let's keep both arms reaching out ahead. Wiggle them as far as they can go ahead. Try to stretch all the way from the fingertips to your hip creases. Keeping the hands planted, roll through the spine, stacking your joints again in tabletop. Good. And when we find tabletop, we'll open up our wrists. It might have been a long day at your desk. So start rotating the hands out to the side. Fingertips point to the long edges of the mat. Use the finger pads and knuckles as you sway left and right. And from here, bring most of the weight into your shins as we flip the palms so that the fingertips face the inside and you come to the backs of the hands. And then you can slowly add a little bit of weight into your wrists and hands. Beginning, let's just try to press all the fingernails onto the mat. And then we can try to make little teeny fists. Most likely the fingers are looking like they're just curling partway up. Good. When you're ready, we'll bring the palms back to a normal little vanilla tabletop, fingers face forward. All right. Take your right toes, reaching back behind you with the toes tucked under. And then we're going to send the left shin out to an angle as we peel the right arm up to the sky and pivot and drop the right heel down to the ground. So opening up into a variation on side plank. Let's look up to that top hand and really press the left hand down into the ground as well. Bend your right elbow, bring the hand behind the head. As you breathe in, roll that right shoulder open, look up to the sky. And as you breathe out, look to your bottom hand, point the elbow down to the ground. Inhale, rotate open. And exhale, look back down. Do that a couple more times. Move with your own breath, just exploring this opening and closing around the heart space. Good. Now the next time your elbow points up, keep looking up towards the sky. Place a little bit more weight into your feet and your shins as you lift the whole torso vertically over your hips. Good. All right. Both hands now can come to the back of the head. We can take that right hand to find the outer right leg. Keep lifting the spine nice and tall and then tilt on over to the right hand side, stretching out the left rib cage. Let's look up towards the ceiling. Let's lift back through center, and then both hands can come down to the ground, cartwheel them down, and your right knee comes under your hips. Send the chest forwards, bend the elbows, lowering with control to the belly. Wiggle your toes back. Inhale, lift the upper spine for small cobra. And exhale, wave back down. Do that 2 more times. When you've done 3 of those, use the palms, press them into the mat, and we'll meet again in tabletop. Good, let's head on over and do that again on the other side. Left toes now reach back behind you with toes tucked under. Pivot the right shin out on an angle and start peeling the whole left side of the body open. So the heel drops down, left arm stacks on top. So start in this really stable, strong position, pressing the right palm down, reaching up towards the sky. And now we can focus a little bit more on rotation to the chest. Bend the left elbow, bring the hand behind the head. Take a breath in, roll the left shoulder open, keep looking up. And exhale, look down to the bottom hand, elbow points down. Inhale, open up. Exhale, closing back off. 2 more of those. Good, so the next time you open back up, stay open. Start pressing a little bit more weight into your shin and your foot that is anchoring you down. And we're gonna lift the spine vertically on top of the hips. And now the right hand can take hold of behind the head as well. Lovely, left hand now finds that extended leg. Take a big breath in, reaching up, and then exhale over to the left as you look up to the sky. Lifting back through center, both hands cartwheel down under the shoulders and your knee under your hip. Send your chest forward, bend the elbows, lower to your stomach. Inhale, partway lift. Exhale, roll down. 2 more like that. Begin pressing your way back to downward facing dog, toes tuck under, hips go up and back. Just give yourself a moment to get comfortable here. You can pedal through the legs, look left and right, and really plant those palms to help support the weight. Let's come back to stillness in the heels. Imagine the heels of your hands are pulling towards your toes as you ripple the spine forwards until your shoulders travel over your wrists in plank. So we'll pull your hips up and back again, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forward. And exhale, hips go up and back, downward facing dog. We'll add on this time. Inhale, meeting in plank. Let's drop the heels to the left, toes to the right, and then float the right arm to the sky. As soon as you arrive there in our side plank, the right hand comes back under the shoulder, and we can lower all the way down to our bellies. Point your toes back behind you. Let's tense the hands off the mat this time, a little wider onto the fingertips. Inhale, lift the chest through center. And exhale, drop the right shoulder, look to the left. Good. Inhale, lift through center. Exhale, drop the left shoulder, look to the right. Inhale, come back up through center. Exhale, we'll lower back through center. Hands come closer to you. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Press your way back. Inhale, ripple yourself forward, shoulders over wrists in plank. And exhale, crest the mat away, hips go up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forwards to plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come on forwards to plank, stay here. Heels travel to the right, toes to the left, and stack the left arm on top in side plank. As soon as you arrive, we'll bring that hand back down under the shoulder. Bend the elbows, travel through chaturanga all the way to the belly. Untuck the toes when you get there, and we'll find that nice wide stance again in the hands, tenting them off the mat. Inhale, lift on up through center. Exhale, drop the left shoulder, look to the right. Inhale, rise through center. Exhale, drop the right shoulder, look to the left. Inhale to lift on up. Exhale, lower back through center. Hands come under the shoulders and press your way back, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, let's lift the heels nice and tall. Look forwards towards your hands. As you exhale, step or hop to meet your hands. Stay in a forward fold for a moment. Bend your knees enough that you can thread your hands all the way underneath your feet. So the toes come all the way towards your wrist creases. You might give a little wiggle left and right. Just nurturing the wrists, nurturing the hands. We can take those hands back out from under the feet. Inhale, halfway lift the spine. Exhale, float back down. Inhale, dig the heels down, rise all the way to stand, arms overhead. And exhale to mountain pose. Good. All right, we're going to step off our mat just for a moment and use a little bit of wall space. So all you need, you don't need to move your mat at all. All you need is one hand print that you can find onto the wall. Okay, so let's start with our left hand on the wall. And we're going to find the hand so the fingertips point back and the wrist crease faces forward. Good. So let's start slowly, opening the chest up towards the center of the room until you meet a little bit of sensation. Just pause there, and we'll take a few deep breaths into that opening. Lovely. All right. Start spinning yourself back the way that you were facing before. And now place the fingertips so they point up towards the ceiling and the arms straight out from the shoulder. Now take a step away from the wall. So you're really leaning onto that palm. Then take the right arm and reach it into the middle of the room and flex at the wrist as well, like you're pressing two walls away, not just one. So we've already been here today. This looks a little bit like a side plank that we just visited. Now we can take the right hand, bring a bend into the elbow. Hand comes behind the head. Take your right foot, step it partway back behind you onto the ball mound of that foot, and then rotate the right shoulder open to the center of the room. So this looks like something we'll visit a little bit later, wild thing. All right, reversing your steps, your foot can step back to where it started. Reach the right arm back out into the center of the room. And we can step a little bit closer to the wall. And let's switch to the other side. Spin on around. And take your right hand to the wall, fingertips pointing behind you. Begin to rotate that chest open towards the center of the room, just till you find that sensation again. Take a few deep breaths. Start spinning yourself so you face forwards again, and the fingertips point up. Now take a step away from the walls, the body is on an angle, and now the left arm starts reaching into the center of the room, fingertips also pointing up, pressing an imaginary wall and a real wall away in our side plank. Now let's start getting wild here. The left hand comes to the back of the head, left toes take a step back onto the ball mount, and rotate the chest open towards the center of the room. That left foot can step back beside his partner. Left arm stretches to the center of the room just for a moment. And we can come back to two steady feet. Let's head over back to our mats when you're ready. Good, nice and open, ready for this flow. So standing at the top of the mat, feet about hip distance. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And exhale, fold from the waist over your legs. Inhale, step the left leg back behind you. Keep the left palm on the ground under the shoulder, and we'll reach the right arm to the sky. Now bring a bend into the elbow, and the hand yet again comes behind the head. Inhale, keep rolling open, look towards the sky. And exhale, that right elbow points down to the ground. Inhale, rotate open. Exhale, point the elbow down. One more. When you're all done there, both fingertips can graze the ground, start pressing through the feet. I'm gonna reach both arms up ahead of you in a high lunge, where the palms are together, reaching ahead. Now we're gonna move in slow motion here. Take the left hand, start drawing it down the right hand as we're pivoting on the back foot, as slow as we can, landing in warrior two. Look at the hand behind you, and then reverse those steps. Take the left hand, bring it back across the chest, pivoting back to the ball mount and back to our high lunge. Do that again, peeling yourself open, challenging yourself to go as slow as you can. And bring the hand back forward to a lunge. Good, this next time we'll stay open. Start pulling yourself back to warrior two. And when you get there, point the fingertips up towards the sky like you're pressing both walls away. Lovely, we can relax the wrists. Take your back hand, the left hand to your back leg, and right arm stretches to the sky, reversing your warrior. Now begin leaning forwards towards the right. Your right forearm might find that right thigh, and left arm comes by the ear. When you come into your extended side angle, roll the left shoulder open and look towards the sky. Find that rotation again into the spine. Now pressing through both feet, rise back up, warrior two, look down your right finger, and bring both palms to the ground. We'll step the right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forwards to plank. Drop the heels to the left, reach the right arm to the sky. We're gonna flow on over to the other side. So right hand comes down, heels shift to the right, and the left arm reaches to the sky. Come on back forwards to plank. And your choice this time, bend the elbows to chaturanga or back to the belly. Inhale, maybe it's a small cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, we'll all meet in downward facing dog. We're gonna be here for about 4 breaths. So if those wrists wanna rest, child's pose might be another opportunity or another option. On your next inhale, let the heels rise up as you look forwards, and exhale, spring or step to meet the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back down. And inhale, rise all the way to stand, arms lift with you. Exhale, mountain pose. Good. Inhale, arms reach to the sky. Exhale, fold from the waist over your legs. Inhale, step the right leg back behind you, right palm under the shoulder, left arm to the sky. As soon as it reaches up, bring a bend into the elbow, the hand comes behind the head. Inhale, keep looking up to the sky, and exhale, look down to your bottom hand. Inhale, rotate open. Exhale, close it off. One more. When the shoulders are square to the ground, the fingers can find the ground, press into the legs, the spine will lift vertically, and both hands reach ahead of you into a lunge. All right, super slow motion again. Feel that control in the legs. Right hand this time is drawing a line down the left arm across the chest and back behind you. Start bringing that hand back across the chest towards your lunge. Opening back up. Little micro movements. Good. When you're ready, back forwards to your lunge. Last time, we'll stay open this time. When you find warrior two, flex at the wrist, press the walls away. Expand through both arms. Good, you can relax those wrists, take the right hand to the right leg, left arm to the sky. Get a little bit more spacious through the left side body. Take a few deep breaths right there into that rib cage. Feel it expand. Leaning forwards till your left forearm finds your left thigh and right arm comes by the ear. Continue to spiral the heart open, looking up to the ceiling. Good, we'll press into the legs, rise back up, warrior two. Take a look down the left fingers before both hands cartwheel to the ground and step your left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forwards to plank. The heels go to the right and the left arm rises up towards your side plank. As soon as you get there, let's flow to the other side. Left hand comes down, heel shift to the left, and the right arm reaches up. Bring that hand back down under your shoulder, and we can add in a little flow. Bend the elbows, chaturanga or to your stomach. Inhale for a back bend of your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels high, look way forwards. And exhale, spring or step to your hands. Inhale, we'll halfway lift. Exhale, float down. And inhale, come all the way up. Exhale to mountain pose. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, step your left leg back. Right away, we're going to come up towards your lunge, arms reach ahead of you. Good. We're going to open on up one time. Warrior two. Good. Hands come behind the head, bend into the elbows, and imagine that you're pulling your skull up towards the sky. Inhale, lean back. Open up the right rib cage, look towards the sky, just into a floating reverse warrior. Now we're leaning the other way into a sustainable angle of a floating extended side angle towards the right. When you get there, roll the left shoulder back and look up towards the sky. Let's rise back up, warrior two, as the arms stretch back out. Good, both palms find the ground. And step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come on forwards to plank. Drop the heels to the left and the right arm overhead. Going to the other side, right hand comes down, shift the heels to the right, and the left arm rises up. Good, we'll meet back in plank. Flow any which way you like, chaturanga to the belly, upward facing dog, small cobra, and downward facing dog or child's pose. As you inhale, let the heels rise up. As you exhale, spring or step to your hands. Inhale, rebound, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back down. And inhale, we'll come all the way up to stand. Exhale, mountain pose. Getting a little warmer. Let's keep moving. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, step the right leg back. Press into the feet. Reach the arms ahead, palms together. One time only, slowly open up till the right arm reaches back and right heel finds the ground. Bend into both elbows, the hands come behind the head, and see if you can grow a little bit taller through the spine. Lean back towards the right, reversing the shape in a floating reverse warrior. Look on up. And we're going the other way, leaning towards the left, a floating, sustainable, extended side angle as you roll the right shoulder back, looking up towards the ceiling. Good, press into your feet. Rise back up, warrior two, arms release out. Bring both hands down to the ground. And the left foot steps back, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forward, shoulders over wrists. Heels go to the right. Left arm reaches to the sky. Heading the other way, left hand comes down, heels travel left. Right arm flows up. Bring both palms under your shoulders. Flow in a way that feels good to you. And we'll meet again in a resting pose, down dog, or child's pose. As you inhale, let the heels come up, look forward, and exhale, travel to meet your hands. Inhale, we'll halfway lift. Exhale, fold back down. And inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, mountain pose, Tadasana. Inhale, stretch the arms to the sky. And exhale, float forwards over your legs. Inhale, step the left leg back. When you're ready, we're going to reach the arms up overhead, high lunge. Good, okay. Just as we had before, bring the hands ahead, palms are facing each other. And then we're going to open the wings out to the side, then all the way back behind you. See how close you can get the backs of your hands together. Try to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep the shoulders where they are, but just rotate the thumbs now point down. Good. Now, feel free to bend the elbows to bring the hands together, right thumb on top of left, and you can lengthen those arms down again. Let's lift the heart space up, opening up the throat, looking towards the sky, turning this more into a back bend. If you want to stretch out the shoulders even more, try to lift your fists away from your seat. Now let's take the back bend out of it. Look straight forward. Keep the hands bound. We're going to open up to warrior two legs. Pivot and drop the left heel down. Take a big breath in where you are. And as you breathe out, we're bowing forwards for humble warrior towards the inner right knee, squeezing that inner thigh towards the side of your body. Now the hands might be happy on the low back. They might want to reach all the way up overhead. You decide. Now let's bring our hands to the ground on the inside of your right foot. We're going to start rotating open to the left to face the long edge of the mat. So straighten the right leg and turn the toes to the long edge. So you're finding yourself into a straddle. Just let the head be heavy. You can ragdoll here or use the grippiness of your mat. So to open up the hamstrings by walking the hands back in line with the heels, pulling your feet up and your head down. Let's start to wander your fingertips back forwards, lengthen out all the way through the spine. Take a peek towards your right foot and walk your way back towards that foot into a lunge. When you get there, plant the palms, step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, we're traveling forwards to plank, switching it up slightly. Turn the heels to the left, stack the right arm on top. We're gonna hold this one here. You can stay in your side plank, or we'll get wild. Bend the right elbow, bring it to the back of the head, and your right toe step back behind you to the ball mound. Roll your shoulder open. Lift the heart and hips to the sky. Wild thing. Now, whenever you're ready to come out of this, come out of this. The right palm comes back under the shoulder. Feel free to flow or go straight to stillness in one of those resting poses. Inhale, lift the heels, look forward. Exhale, travel to meet the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back down. And inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, back to mountain pose, home base. Inhale, scoop your arms to the sky. And exhale, fold forwards over your leg. Inhale, step the right leg back behind you. And when you're ready, step on up, high lunge. Just so you know, I'm watching two eagles outside right now, attacking some sort of animal. This is very odd. All right, reach the arms forwards ahead of you to begin. And then start opening the wings out to the side. And then all the way back behind. The backs of the hands are facing each other. Now give the thumbs down, point them down. See if you can get them any closer together by squeezing the shoulder blades. And then bend the elbows till the hands can clasp, left thumb on top. You can lengthen the arms out as much as you'd like, bringing in a back bend, opening the heart space up towards the ceiling. Now you can make this all about the back bend or add in that shoulder stretch just by lifting the hands away from the seat. I live next to the train station, so my assumption is there was some roadkill, an eagle lunch. All right, we'll look straight ahead again. Keep the hands bound, but we're opening up to warrior two legs, nice and slowly. Pivot, drop that down. Inhale, keep lifting the spine tall. And exhale, bow forwards towards the inner left knee. Humble warrior. For that extra stretch again, the arms go all the way up to the sky. Bring our hands to the ground, unlace them. We're on the inside of your left foot. Start rotating open to the right side into a straddle. So both toes are facing the same way. Now come back into your ragdoll. Perhaps you come back into this hamstring stretch. You could even add on from there by holding on to the outer feet. You're using a little bit of that arm muscle we found today by bending the elbows, pulling the head down, and feet up. Wherever you are, start wandering the fingertips forwards, get a little longer through the spine. Take a peek towards your left foot. That's the direction that we're going to walk around in, back to a lunge. Plant the palms and step that left foot back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, rippling forwards to plank. Heels drop to the right. Left arm reaches up on top. So we're staying in this side plank or adding on to wild thing. Bend into the elbow. Hand comes to behind the head. Left toes make their way behind you as you roll yourself open, lifting the heart and hips up. Eventually make your way back towards plank. Both arms on the ground. Last opportunity for vinyasa if you would like to take it. Meeting again in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels high. And exhale, we're going to step or hop through to a seat. Just cross your ankles as you go and make your way down. Good. All right, let's come into a 1990 shape. So sit off to your right hip. Bring a bend into the right knee ahead of you. And then the left leg's also making a 90-degree angle out to the left-hand side. Now walk your hands forwards ahead of you, finding those tented hands again. Just try to lengthen your spine forwards ahead. Start walking them off to the right once you found that length. Then start looking back behind you, finding a twist. Start walking your hands forwards, back ahead of you, still tensing into the fingers. Inhale, let the chest puff up slightly. Then exhale, bend the elbows, get a little closer to your shin. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, get a little more familiar, getting close to the shin. Inhale, puff up. And this time, we can start lowering down. You can make little fists for your head to rest on or just on top of the palms. Begin pressing back up to where we started. And to head to the other side, we're going to do a big windshield wiper the other way. So bring your fingertips back behind you, let the soles of the feet find the ground, and most likely you'll be ending up facing the back of the mat or the side of the mat. Left shin is ahead. So walk those fingertips forwards again. Try to pull the spine as long as you can. Then the hands can walk over to the left as you peek over the left shoulder. Start walking yourself back forward, tensing into the fingers. Inhale, let the chest inflate, and then exhale, get a little closer to the ground. Couple more of those, just moving with breath. And eventually settling yourself down onto your fists or back of the hands. Let's start lifting back up to your hands. And we're going to rotate back around the same way we went back. So that big windshield wiper, hands go back behind you. Soles of the feet roll around. And then we can swing both legs ahead this time. Good. Make sure there's plenty of room behind you. So toes are rather close to the top of the mat. Bend in the knees. And we're going to do a little C curve of the spine all the way back. Take your time to get there. And let the shoulders lie back, head, and walk your feet a little bit closer to you. Take your right ankle, cross it over the left knee, so dorsiflex into the ankle. And without using your hands, just try to press that right thigh further away from you in this figure 4 shape. Option A is to stay rooted here with the left foot on the ground. Option B is to float the leg off the ground, still not using your hands, just allowing the strength of your legs to hold this figure 4 shape. And option C is to use your hands behind the fold of the knee. So you're using the strength of your arms and legs. You decide. Now, if the leg is floating, we can bring the left foot back to the ground, but keep the figure 4 shape where it is. Take up some space with the arms, so a little diamond shape or cactus shape with the arms, and the whole set of your legs are going to fall towards the left, trying to get the right sole of the foot on the ground. Now, it might not make it quite there. You can take your left hand, just steady the ankle, hold onto it. And you've got a couple choices here as well. If you want to stretch out the side of your body, keep reaching up with the right arm. Try to send the right thigh further away from you. You're stretching from the fingertips to your hips. But if you want a big quad stretch, the right hand could reach down and maybe it finds hold of the left foot. Twist tied like a pretzel. And let both hands let go of whatever they're holding on to. Shift the legs back up through center and just let them go so both feet find the ground. Let's knock our knees from side to side a few times, letting any tension roll off the hips and low back. Let's re-stack those knees on top of the feet. We'll head to the other side. Left ankle over the right knee. Big dorsiflex into the ankle so the toes shine towards the shin. And then press that thigh away from you. So you could stay anchored, rooted right here. Float the leg, just using that strength of the leg to hold you there. Or hold onto the back of your leg with your hands as well. Now notice where you're feeling tightest and try to send your breath mindfully there. If that right foot lifted, we can stand it back on the ground with this figure four shape in the left leg. Reach the arms up overhead, the shoulders stay on the ground as you tilt the legs to the right. So see if you can get the left foot onto the ground. We can all take our right hand to try to steady that ankle. Now start first just by reaching the left arm up, sending the left thigh further away from you. Find that stretch and decide if this is where you want to stay or if you want to get all pretzely again by reaching down and seeing if you can hold on to your right foot. Let's let go of everything we're holding on to. Lift that figure four shape back up through center and uncross that ankle. Knees can just go side to side a couple more times. Now, for any final movements that the body is craving, this is a great opportunity to just add those into your practice. And for those of us ready for stillness, let's start reaching the heels far away, toes can fall apart. Hands might be happily up by your side, or if you'd like to connect a little deeper with yourself, one hand over the heart, the other over the belly. You just bring your attention back to what is happening on the inside. The pace of your breath, the pace of your heart. And eventually let those thoughts just disappear. Begin to invite your breath to go a little deeper. Be inviting small and familiar movements back to your hands and feet. Stretch your arms overhead, point your toes far away. And very slowly roll over to one side. And come and join me in a seat. I want to thank you guys for showing up for yourselves today, coming to play, explore our bodies through some breath and movement. And I look forward to doing this again soon. See you next week, everyone.
Thanks, Becky.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Tim. Thanks for joining. I think that was Tim talking, right?
It was. Yeah.
All right, good. Thanks, Robin. Thanks for joining too.
That was really great.
Good.
A lot of side planks. I've never done so many.
Yeah, today was a little bit plank heavy, so hopefully your wrists and arms are feeling good. Good.
Yeah, it was fun.
Good.
Thanks, Becky.
Thanks. So nice to see you, Brian. Nice connecting again.
I've got to start doing it more often because that was way too painful.
Oh no. All right. Well, I'll go easy on you guys next week.
Right on.
All right. Well, it's nice to meet you as well.
Yeah, thank you. It was a great class.
Thanks so much for coming. All right. Madeline, thanks for popping on.
Hi, thanks.
Great. See you guys next week. Have a good one.
Bye.
Night.
Yeah.
Bye.